Excuse me, passengers. Excuse me, passengers. I need everybody's attention. Would anybody that might happen to be a top 5 finalist for the WNBA MVP please stand up?
So lads, today the WNBA have officially announced their 5 MVP finalists. Did they do this last year? I don't think so. I don't think they announced their 5 MVP finalists. It's going to be announced on Sunday.
Haters are in shambles. Critics are choking on their own words. And the WNBA just dropped a bomb that nobody, absolutely nobody, saw coming. For the first time in years, the league rolled out a list of 5 MVP finalists. And tucked into that list, standing shoulder to shoulder with A'ja Wilson, Napheesa Collier, and Alyssa Thomas, is a name that has driven doubters absolutely insane. Kelsey Mitchell.
First team, but Kelsey Mitchell is one of the finalists. So the last 2 years, the Indiana Fever have had MVP finalists, and this is a team that since Tamika Catchings has had nobody. And prior to last year, Kelsey Mitchell was just a scorer on bad teams. Aaliyah Boston was a pretty good rookie, a real good rookie in fact. But the finalists here are Alicia Gray.
Let that sink in for a second. This isn't Caitlin Clark. This isn't A'ja Wilson. This isn't the safe, predictable superstar pick. This is the Indiana Fever's veteran guard, the player the media dismissed for years as just a scorer on a bad team, now forcing her way into the conversation for the most prestigious award in women's basketball. The reactions? Hilarious. Some fans are fuming, calling it a fluke. Others are scrambling to rewrite their old takes. But one thing's for sure, the league has no choice but to recognize Kelsey Mitchell, the same Kelsey Mitchell who was told she couldn't win with her style. The same Kelsey Mitchell who supposedly had no place in MVP talks. And now, she's sitting at the same table as the WNBA's most celebrated names.
Excuse me, passengers. Excuse me, passengers. I need everybody's attention. Would anybody that might happen to be a top 5 finalist for the WNBA MVP please stand up? We love you, Kelsey. We're so proud of you.
So here's the question, and I want your honest take. Does Kelsey Mitchell truly deserve this MVP finalist spot, or is this just the league stirring the pot for clicks? Drop your thoughts below, because this conversation is about to get heated, and trust me, by the end of this video, you're going to see why the haters are panicking. Before Caitlin Clark, before Aaliyah Boston, before this so-called Fever revival, there was Kelsey Mitchell. Drafted in 2018, dropped into a franchise that was lost in the wilderness, Mitchell was labeled almost immediately talented scorer, empty stats, irrelevant team. That was the box critics shoved her into, and they never bothered to take her out.
Kelsey, it was win or go home. You guys advanced. Getting to the semis for the first time since 2015. Earlier today, you told me it's going to be about the gut check with this team. What did you see from that standpoint?
It got ugly, it got mucky. You knew Atlanta was going to be aggressive and, make stuff ugly for us. And down the stretch of the game was about getting stops, and Lexi Hall got the stop. So it takes all of us.
Think about it. Since the retirement of Tamika Catchings in 2016, Indiana was a franchise drowning in failure. Missed draft picks, failed coaching hires, endless losing seasons. Nobody cared about Fever basketball. They were a league punchline. And right in the middle of that chaos was Mitchell, quietly putting up 18, 19, 20 points a night while analysts yawned. Yeah, she can score, they'd say, but it doesn't matter.
The newcomer in Bree Hall plays tonight. Boston on a kick out. Mitchell, oh, she's hot.
Normal, I think. It's practice. Trying to prepare like anybody else would, like any other day. But keep the main thing. That's all you can do.
Instead of shrinking, Mitchell grew. Instead of fading, she forced her game into the spotlight. Clark's gravity opened the floor. Boston's presence commanded attention, and Mitchell seized the moment. She turned years of empty scoring into meaningful production. Wins started coming. Playoff contention was real. Suddenly, those same numbers the critics laughed at, they couldn't ignore them anymore. This MVP finalist spot isn't some miracle. It's the payoff of years of grinding in the shadows. And the fact that the haters didn't see it coming makes it even sweeter.
That was pretty cool. It was pretty. I think this the gratefulness across the plane was really big for us. We all differently came from. So, even the personnel staff. Some people like Hillary Spears has been here as long as I have, and she's finally, in a playoff hunt. So it's big for everybody. I think everybody had a piece of it.
Let's break this down piece by piece, because Mitchell's rise to MVP finalist status didn't happen by accident. It happened because every single criticism lobbed at her over the years got exposed as lazy nonsense. First, the scoring punch. Mitchell has always been a bucket getter, but this year it actually mattered. Why? Because Indiana stopped being a punching bag. Every jumper she hit, every drive she finished, every dagger three, it directly translated into win. And that's the golden rule of MVP talk. When your numbers equal victories, people can't brush them off anymore. Second, the fit with Caitlin Clark. Everyone swore Clark's arrival would push Mitchell into the shadows. Too many guards, too much overlap. Instead, Clark's shooting and playmaking stretched defenses wide open, and Mitchell thrived in the gaps. Opposing teams faced a nightmare. Key on Clark, and Mitchell torched you. Shade Mitchell, and Clark buried you from deep. That synergy transformed Indiana's offense from predictable to explosive. Third, the leadership narrative. For years, critics said Mitchell couldn't lead. Well, this season, she did. She didn't whine about Clark stealing the spotlight. She didn't complain about Boston being the franchise centerpiece. She embraced it. And when games got ugly, when Indiana needed a veteran to take control, Mitchell delivered. That's value you can't measure with stats alone. And finally, the timing. The Fever weren't supposed to be relevant yet. Not this fast, not this soon, but here they are. Semifinals, primetime, spotlight blazing, and Kelsey Mitchell is right in the middle of it, leaving the haters with no more excuses to hide behind. Here's where things get messy, because Kelsey Mitchell's name on that finalist list wasn't just surprising, it was disruptive. Kelsey Mitchell's unexpected rise into the top 3 of the MVP race isn't just about one player. It's a reflection of where the WNBA is headed. Her climb shakes the foundation of long-standing narratives about who deserves recognition in women's basketball. For years, the MVP conversation revolved around a select few names: A'ja Wilson, Breanna Stewart, and maybe one other superstar rotating in and out. Mitchell's inclusion disrupts that pattern, and it signals a massive shift in both perception and reality. First, it puts scorers back at the center of the MVP discussion. For too long, players with elite offensive arsenals were dismissed if they didn't also have gaudy rebounding or defensive stats. Kelsey Mitchell breaks that mold. She's not padding box scores with double-digit boards or blocks. She's simply torching defenses every single night with offensive mastery. That kind of impact forces the league and the media to reconsider what value truly means. Is it just about versatility, or is it about bending defenses, opening opportunities for teammates, and keeping opponents in constant panic mode? Second, Mitchell's placement as a finalist sends a clear message to teams outside the traditional powerhouses. Your stars can be recognized too. The Indiana Fever haven't been title favorites, but they've been must-watch basketball all year because of Mitchell's play. For smaller markets, this is huge. It suggests that with the right narrative and relentless production, a player doesn't have to be on a super team to earn national attention. This is exactly the kind of story that grows the league by broadening fan bases beyond the usual hotspots like Las Vegas and New York. Third, and perhaps most importantly, her top 3 finish highlights the WNBA's evolving relationship with its fans. Fans have been clamoring for the league to notice players like Mitchell for years. Now, they're seeing the results. The MVP race no longer feels predetermined. It feels alive, contested, and genuinely reflective of on-court performances. That builds trust. That builds engagement. And in the long term, that builds loyalty. But let's not forget the ripple effects. Kelsey Mitchell's recognition means younger guards across the country, from AAU tournaments to college programs, can see a blueprint. They don't have to fit into the mold of a 6'4" forward who dominates the paint to dream of MVP recognition. Not a winning player. Now, the player they buried under lazy cliches is sitting in the same conversation as their darlings. That's not just recognition, it's a slap in the face to their credibility. And let's be clear, Mitchell isn't winning MVP. Everyone knows the politics. If it's close, A'ja Wilson always gets the nod. That's how this league works. But Mitchell's presence alone changes everything. It forces voters, media, and fans to confront the uncomfortable truth. Indiana Fever basketball is back, and it's not just because of Caitlin Clark. That's what makes haters furious. Liberty fans scream that Stewart was snubbed. Lynx fans want more love for Kayla McBride. Aces fans argue the award shouldn't even require a vote. Just mail it to A'ja every season. And right in the middle of that chaos sits Kelsey Mitchell, calmly smiling, knowing she's making people mad simply by existing in the top 5. The The escalation isn't about whether she wins, it's about the disruption her name causes. Mitchell has exposed the cracks in the old narrative, and now the league can't put the genie back in the bottle. To really understand why Kelsey Mitchell is here, you have to rewind the tape. When she came into the league in 2018, she was all flash and speed, but not much efficiency. The scouting report was brutal. Volume scorer, shaky shot selection, limited playmaking, inconsistent defense. The combination creates a perfect storm for jersey sales, ticket demand, and sponsorships. At the league level, Mitchell's rise diversifies the WNBA's storytelling. Instead of the narrative always circling around A'ja Wilson's dynasty chase or Breanna Stewart's dominance, now you have new blood forcing their way into the conversation. That's how you keep fans invested long term. That's how you avoid stagnation. In short, Kelsey Mitchell's top 3 MVP finalist status is more than a personal milestone. It's a signal flare for the entire WNBA landscape. It challenges the definition of valuable. It validates non-super team markets. It deepens the fan league connection, and it creates a ripple effect for future generations of guards who now see a pathway to the highest honors. And trust me, whether she wins the award or not, this moment is a pivot point. Years from now, people will look back at the 2025 MVP race and say, that's when the conversation truly changed. So here we are. The dust is settling. The finalists are set, and Kelsey Mitchell has officially broken through into the elite class of MVP contenders. Whether she walks away with the trophy or not almost doesn't matter, because the statement has already been made. The WNBA is no longer a closed circle where only a couple of pre-approved stars dominate the conversation. The gate has been kicked open, and Mitchell is standing right there in the spotlight. Think about what that means. For Fever fans, this is validation. You've watched Kelsey grind through losing seasons. You've seen her stay loyal, and now you're seeing the league finally acknowledge her greatness. For neutral fans, it's a reminder that this league is deeper than just 2 or 3 big names. It's filled with players who can explode at any moment, rewrite narratives, and change how we view the game. And for the haters, well, they've got no choice but to face reality. Kelsey Mitchell is not just a scorer, not just a highlight reel. She's one of the most valuable players in the entire WNBA. No debate, no excuses. The numbers, the impact, the wins, they all tell the same story. But here's where it gets even more exciting. This isn't the end. This is the beginning. Mitchell's recognition as a top 3 MVP finalist sets the stage for even bigger things to come. Will she use this momentum to lead Indiana on a deep playoff run? Will she elevate her game to an even higher level next season? One thing's for sure, everyone is watching now, and the spotlight isn't going anywhere. So let me throw it to you guys. Do you think Kelsey Mitchell has a real shot to win the MVP, or will the voters still lean toward the familiar names like Wilson or Stewart? And more importantly, has this season changed the way you define what most valuable player really means? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I want to hear from Fever Nation, from neutral fans, and yes, even from the haters who doubted her from day one. If you enjoyed this breakdown, smash that like button, subscribe to Her Hoops for more WNBA deep dives, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss the next big story. Because trust me, the playoffs are here and the drama is only getting started. Until next time, stay tuned, stay locked in, and remember, the game is changing and players like Kelsey Mitchell are leading the charge.